How's it going, everybody out there in YouTube land? My name is Jason, and this video is, I guess, what I'm calling my reintroduction to the YouTube pipe community. I say reintroduction because I was once, years ago, a part of the YTPC, probably back in 2016, well, about 2015 to about 2016, 2017. So I wasn't on YouTube for very long. However, at the time, I was very active. Back in those days were when I was communicating with guys like Stogie Farts, Matches 860, Jason Dagner with Dagner Pipes. You had guys like the Swampin' Piper, I think his name was. I think his real name is Tyler. I don't even know if he's around anymore. Mike from Tobacco Pipe Collectors. So there were a lot of guys active back then that I'm not too sure are active any longer. Sadly, I know that Matches passed away. I just recently heard about that and was very sad to hear that news. I hadn't spoke to him in many years now because of my absence from the pipe community. But he was definitely an integral part of the community for sure. With that being said, the reason that I had been gone for so long is because back in 2017-ish, I developed some health issues that required me to stop smoking altogether. I wasn't even really a big pipe smoker then. Most of what I was into was cigars, as I had ran a cigar shop. I was managing a cigar shop for about 5 years, but I dabbled, so to speak, in pipes and pipe tobacco. And I got a little heavier into it, but still was nowhere near what I'm sure most of you guys have been and currently are. But with those health issues, I had to stop smoking cigars. I had to stop smoking pipes. And the only form of tobacco that I was really able to enjoy during that period of time was dip and chew, which I still currently enjoy when I'm not able to smoke a cigar or a pipe. And how I got back into smoking was, unfortunately, my father passed away going on 2 years ago now. And my father, my mother, and myself all enjoyed cigars together back when I was able to smoke. Working in the cigar shop, I actually got my mother and my father both into smoking cigars. And funny enough, they began smoking more cigars than I did, and their collections grew larger than mine very quickly. But unfortunately, like I said, once I developed those health issues, I was no longer able to smoke with them. So when my father passed away, it was in March of 2022. His birthday would have been that following November. So when November had rolled around, on his birthday, I made the decision that I'm going to at least try and attempt to smoke a cigar on his birthday, just as a celebratory thing for his life and the memories, and just as a memorial kind of situation. So I got with my mother, and she and I sat out on the front porch and smoked a cigar. And I realized that it really didn't have any kind of negative effect on me as far as my previous health issues went. And slowly but surely, I got back into smoking cigars pretty heavily. and was just loving every minute of it. I missed it, and I picked it up like, I had never let go before. And nothing could have made me happier, because my passion for tobacco in general, but especially for cigars, is incredible. It's an incredible part of my life that I greatly missed, and am blessed and happy to have back in my life now. So I've been smoking cigars again since about November of last year, 2022. And here recently, I've decided to start dabbling back into pipes the way that I was a few years ago. And so I started following a few guys on Instagram, stuff like that. Started going to the local pipe shop where I live and talking to the guys there. And I still had some of my pipes left over from back in the day, but no tobacco. So I started trying to pick up some of the old tobaccos that I enjoyed from back then, and just kind of revisiting them and dabbling into it a little bit, and really starting to realize that I'm enjoying pipes a little bit more than what I am cigars. Just the ritual around pipe smoking, and honestly, the economic value of it, because you spend, say, $10 on a cigar, and you get to smoke it one time. You spend $10 on a tin of pipe tobacco, and you can enjoy that multiple times. One of the things I like about pipes as well is, if you sit down to smoke a cigar, you're kind of dedicated to that cigar. For the most part, because, if you decide you don't want to smoke and you're only 20, 30 minutes into it, well, you're wasting that cigar, because it's not going to taste the same if you put it out and try to relight it. And personally, I don't know how everybody else is, but I've found that I can smoke for 10, 15, 20 minutes on my pipe and sit it down and come back hours later or even the next morning, and that bowl still tastes just as good. So I like being able to just, smoke at my own leisure and at my own pace without sacrificing the tobacco itself. Plus, you have the awesome aspect of collecting beautiful pieces of art, the pipe. So I feel like I'm rambling a little bit here, just kind of my thoughts are all over the place. So forgive me for that. I am unfamiliar and a bit uncomfortable being in front of the camera. It is something I will have to get used to again, gathering my thoughts to make a proper video. But in this new adventure of getting back into pipes and, chatting with guys on Instagram, I came across a guy. His Instagram tag is Lethal Precision. And I noticed he posted a picture of the new Cornell & Diehl Sun Bear Tupelo, or Tupelo. I'm not really certain on how to pronounce it. But unfortunately, I missed out on that drop, and it was a blend that, I was interested in, but just couldn't get my hands on. So I commented on the Instagram post, and he and I started chatting in private messages, actually. And in his generosity, he offered to send me a sample. And the more we talked about it and everything, we just decided, or he was gracious enough to do a full 10 trade with me. So I ended up sending him a couple cigars, and he sent me a 10 of the Cornell & Diehl small batch Sun Bear Tupelo, however you want to pronounce that. So to Lethal Precision, I greatly appreciate your generosity and your willingness to let go of a 10 so that I may try it. I do hope you enjoy the cigars that I sent you. But also, in his generosity, he sent me a few samples of different tobaccos. And I'm going to show you guys those now. He sent me 2018 Acadian Perique. So he sent me a little bit of this here, and it smells incredible. I'm not familiar with this tobacco, but oh man, I'm looking forward to trying this out. He also sent me some Cornell and Deal Burley, which has been aged for 10 years, and it just smells absolutely incredible. I am a huge Burley fan. Like most everybody out there, from what I gather, one of my favorite blends is Cornell and Deal's Haunted Bookshop, which from what I understand is a pretty heavy Burley blend. But I've tried numerous Burleys back in the day and even recently, and I can't get enough Burley personally. So I'm looking forward to trying that. He also sent me an aromatic called Old Toby, and this smells pretty good as well. I can't wait to try that. I don't know what the taste is going to be like. He says it's very good, so I'm gonna give that a try. But I imagine the room note on that one's going to be a very pleasant one. And the last one he sent me is one that he actually mixes himself, and he calls it Champ Ferguson. He told me in the private messages what goes into this blend, and I don't recall it off the top of my head now, but should be a good one to try. So all that being said, like I said, this is my reintroduction to the YTPC. My hope is to continue making videos, to get to know more of you guys and connect with you guys, and just enjoy the positive aspects that the pipe community has to offer, and to do my part in contributing to the community as well. So I look forward to that. If you care to, subscribe, comment, let's chat, that'd be a great time. I look forward to it. And to Lethal Precision, thank you so much for the trade, man. I really do appreciate it. And one last thing, I know that I don't really have a channel name yet. It's just kind of my name and some numbers right now. I plan to do some kind of channel name. I'm just not very creative, so I haven't come up with anything yet. So this video is going on 13 minutes long, which is long for my first video. If you've watched this far, thank you so much. I appreciate it. You guys have a great day. Peace.